We're at Angels Landing, here with the LA chapter at Sunset Sessions. Okay, so I was introduced to Utah about 3.5 years ago, and I don't know if you're familiar with a place called Zion, but it's a big, like extraordinarily amazing national park. And within that national park, there is a hike called Angels Landing, and it's like this amazing, like huge rock formation that's been there for millions of years, and you can see like the evolution of the earth, like within the rock. You know, they explain it all, and it's just beautiful. And you know, we were going around, and somebody's like, oh, that's Angels Landing, and I was like, made kind of like a mental note, you know. And I was a solo artist still then, and when I decided to form the band, I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna go with that name. So that's how it originated. Same thing. I grew up listening to a lot of Beatles records. I would say Lennon is my favorite, but I mean I like Paul too. But yeah, I mean there was.
No love for George, huh?
Well, I mean I like George.
Skipped him entirely.
I did. I'm sorry.
No Ringo love either.
Ringo. Yeah, but you know, something about Lennon, like there's always like this cool dark side to him that I was always drawn to. You know, I felt like he hollowed out his soul a little bit more than Paul did, and I don't know. That's where a lot of great music, I feel like, comes from, you know, even if it is positive. And then I grew up playing like Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana and Metallica, and sort of that 90s grunge era was like very influential in my guitar playing. And the sound I love hearing like from an amp is just straight out of that era. Not so much like the Mesa rectifier sound, but just big kind of grandiose guitar playing has always been sort of my thing, but I always wanted to have that, you know, kind of weave into great songwriting, because I've always been a big fan of pop songwriting and pop songs. Yeah, I mean, another thing with Angels Landing, a big influence that I didn't really tap into until later, which I wasn't. The interesting thing about us being influenced by U2 a lot was that early on in my development as a songwriter and a guitar player, I didn't know that I loved U2 so much. You know, it was strange. Like, it wasn't until, I don't know, like I read a book about Bono and how he's just like what he does with his fame and his opportunity to be so visible to the world, and he uses it in such a positive way. I'm just like connected really deeply to that, and I've always wanted to just kind of do what he does, share music and bring positive and peace into life and all of that. So
I think we're a very fun band to listen to. I don't think we have any downer songs or anything like that.
No.
We do have dynamics in our set. You know, it's not all like in your face like rock music. We definitely have like some chill out songs. Go grab a drink kind of song. And I would like to describe us as fun, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
our live shows is very fun, interactive.
Yeah, we bring a lot of energy. We try to keep that energy really positive. I mean, we have a really good time playing, and oftentimes that translates into other people having a really good time watching. So that's collective energy exchange thing is kind of what we're all about.
Yeah, you know, I kind of look at it. I used to play shows, and afterwards I go, man, like the audience just wasn't feeling it. And the truth is that it was probably me that wasn't feeling it. You know, it's like
feed off you.
Yeah, totally. And I'd get in front of crowds sometimes, and maybe they're doing their own thing, they're talking or drinking or whatever, and I used to get kind of bummed out. I'd be like, well, they don't want to pay attention to me or whatever. But now now I just shut that off and I just like have fun with playing with these guys and then, you know, it doesn't matter what people are doing. They could be drinking, talking to their friend, but they can't help it. Like, it's contagious. They just look over and go, what are these guys doing? Like, they're having an awesome time up there. And it doesn't matter, you know, and like...
Yeah, it kind of ties directly in with what some Santana said yesterday during the Q&A. He was talking about having that servant's attitude and gratitude and just, you know, roll up your sleeves and I hope you're hungry because I'm bringing it.
Like, it is not about the money at all. It's about seeing people having a good time when we're playing and getting a reaction like you gave us earlier and just being like, I really enjoyed your set. I mean, that for me,
priceless.
That is what it's all about. I don't
be a conduit. We're here to bring an experience to people. That's why people go out to see live music, to feel something, to be a part of something that's bigger than.
Yeah. You know, we've been using Instagram a lot. We try. You know, I really dig that as far as keeping in touch. Like, you know, we take a picture and.
It's a really easy way to look artsy and creative. So.
Yeah,
and everyone's on it.
And everyone's on there, and so I think that Instagram for us is a really cool tool, and we just try and, you know, keep it like personal, keep a personal interaction with people, because ultimately we're just trying to connect with fans, you know, and create a family of love.
I feel like the greatest way of connecting to your fans is not through social media, but at shows.
Yeah, and that I was
like,
gonna say that
especially
too.
like at the merch table, or like you're, you know, after the show, or not even at the merch table, just anywhere. Like after and before you go on, it's just like that. That I think is the best time.
Okay. So yeah, Katie and I, Katy Perry. I've been friends with Katy Perry for I don't know, something like 10 years. And back when she was Katie Hudson, and she was a Christian artist back then, and I think she was like 16 or something. We met in a songwriting class in Santa Barbara, and she was like this loud, kind of outspoken chick, and I was like, who is this girl, like making comments on everybody's songs? And we actually ended up becoming really good friends and writing songs together and playing a lot of songs together, and you know, I remember the day she was like, yeah, this guy, Glenn Ballard, like, he wants to sign me. I didn't really know who Glenn Ballard was at the time, but I was like, that sounds cool. And she went off to LA, and then we kept in touch, like, through all the record deals and all the hardships, and I remember her, you know, telling me, like, man, I don't even want to talk about music, Keith. Like, don't even ask me about how the record's doing. Don't even ask me if it's going to come out, because there were so many close calls, you know. There were so many times, like, I think she was on Columbia and then Island, and then, like, they were going to release a song. I don't know, but and then one day, she, you know, after she signed with Capitol and did those songs with Dr. Luke, you know, she invites me out to this radio show, and we're there backstage and we're all hanging out, and her manager Bradford comes up to her, and as I'm there, he says, I think you just got nominated for 2 Grammys. And you know, she like, we're all kind of like, whoa, this is amazing. And she's like freaking out, and it is like a really big deal. And that was just crazy to like see the arc of her career, to go from us being in a songwriting class and just, you know, we both had like a deep affinity for John Mayer, and then just go to that point where she's being nominated for a Grammy, and then watching her perform on the Grammys, and you know, it's just it was surreal, and a lot of times I look at that situation and I go, man, like, I think, and I'm not being pretentious, I just believe in what we're doing as a band, and I think, you know, someday that we could do that too. We could join her. So that's one of the cool Grammy moments that I've had. I would say support music, because I think it heals people, and you know, a lot of times that's what I love hearing stories. I love getting emails or things like that about, you know, people say, yeah, Keith, like, man, I've been so sad in my life, or I've had this happen, and your song really like made me feel something and helped me get through these months of my life, and thank you for that. And it's just always great hearing those stories and being able to be a part of somebody's life like that. You know, I just know that the impact that music's made on my life, and what it means to me to hear a great song and to kind of dive into a great lyric.
Yeah, I think I would say something similar. I support music because it's the universal language. It doesn't really matter what dialect you speak or where you come from. A great song with a universal message is understood by everybody.
Totally.
And with all of the strife and conflict that continues to happen in the world, those times when music brings people together, allows something unbelievable to happen that you just can't accomplish without that. It kind of puts our vibration of consciousness all on the same level.